Hi everybody, Dan Oman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets.
Hi everyone, the feature race on Saturday at Santa Anita, 3-year-olds at a mile on grass. It's the $100,000 Pasadena Stakes. It's race number 9 on a 9-race card, so they saved the feature race until the final race of the day. I like it when the racing office shows some creativity and puts stakes races in spots you wouldn't normally expect. So the card ends with the Pasadena Stakes. 3-year-olds on grass. Maybe the race has probably marginal significance this year, but you never really know. Do you remember what happened 1 year ago in the Pasadena? Let's take a quick peek at the stretch run of the 2021 Pasadena Stakes and see if you recognize the silks on the winner. He's going to come up 3 wide on the outside. Kath Can Peak 2 wide is going to try to bull his way through, but 3 wide in the Rona Silks, that is none other than Rock Your World, making his second career start and kicking away impressively through the lane. Why was this race significant last year? Because Rock Your World would come right back in his very next start and score an impressive win in the Santa Anita Derby before his form ultimately tailed off. But the Pasadena Stakes a year ago turned out to be a prep race for the Santa Anita Derby winner. Now, as far as the 2022 Pasadena Stakes, well, the field is missing some of the top players in the division. We'll go ahead and take a look at the field. Favoritism will be very interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to be number 6, Sumter. It could be number 8, Don't Swear Dave. We'll talk about both those horses. An interesting European import named Do It For Andrew is in the field. And so is a horse that's very sharp right now on the next page, number 10, Handy Dandy, who scored an impressive starter allowance win last time out. A field of 11 will go in the Pasadena Stakes, race 9 of 9. I mentioned that it's missing some of the top names, and those would be McKinnon, Maglev, and Cabo Spirit. McKinnon is really undeniably the top 3-year-old grass horse in California. He finished second last weekend in the El Camino Real Derby up at Golden Gate Fields, and trainer Doug O'Neill said a couple days later that McKinnon is going to be freshened and point for a late spring, early summer campaign when the top grass races for 3-year-olds are offered. Maglev, we saw he's a good horse. Maglev, he scored a very impressive win last time out in a downhill, in a turf sprint, I should say. He is likely to show up in early April in the Singletary Stakes. And then the other stakes winning 3-year-old grass horse, 3-year-old of 2022 is Cabo Spirit. Cabo Spirit finished a distant second a couple weeks ago in the Lewis on Dirt. And trainer George Papapadromo said on Thursday morning that he's going to give Cabo Spirit one more chance on dirt. And why not? You only get one chance at the Kentucky Derby. And Cabo Spirit is going to show up next time in the San Felipe in early March. So McKinnon, Maglev, and Cabo Spirit are not in the Pasadena Stakes. Instead, it's a relatively modest group of 11. And when I say modest, I'm not knocking the field at all. There's plenty of time for these 3-year-olds, newly turned 3-year-olds, to develop and grow. And it's an 11-horse field and really a terrific betting race. Let's take a look at the field one more time. Page 1 includes some of the top contenders, those being Sumter and Don't Swear Dave. Those are my top two selections, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Number 2, Do It For Andrew, making his U.S. debut for trainer Phil D'Amato. And then Handy Dandy in post number 10. A tough post and up in class, but Handy Dandy is razor sharp right now. Okay, it's a field of 11. It's the final race of the day and a good race, a good betting race to end the card on. Let's first talk about the horse that we don't know a whole lot about unless you go fishing around and stumble on a website called irishracing.com. I'm referring to number 2, Do It For Andrew, and really a tip of the cap to irishracing.com, who provides a whole lot of terrific information with regards to the Ireland racing program. And that's where Do It For Andrew raced his first 8 starts of his career. His first 6 starts were all defeats, but he was gelded in late summer. Do It For Andrew was, and he came back in late November at Dundalk and scored an impressive maiden win. And then 1 week later, in his second start as a gelding, Do It For Andrew came right back. Not only did he win, he won decisively. Let's take a look at a race from Dundalk, Ireland, and on the far outside, you're going to see Do It For Andrew basically toying with this field, coming back in 1 week after a maiden comeback win, and Do It For Andrew just crushed the field by more than 5 lengths. Now, yes, it was a synthetic surface race. It was only 7 furlongs. What does that have to do with a 1 mile grass race at Santa Anita? It's only indicative of the improved form of Do It For Andrew, who is a brand new horse since being gelded. You don't win by more than 5 lengths just on luck. He was purchased privately since then, Do It For Andrew was. He makes his U.S. debut on Saturday for owner Michael House and trainer Phil D'Amato. And as we know, D'Amato is the top trainer in California when it comes to importing these Europeans and turning them into stakes horses. So we're going to find out if Do It For Andrew can reproduce his synthetic surface sprint form in a 2-turn grass race on Saturday. And considering how well he has run in both starts since being gelded, considering D'Amato's record with European imports, Umberto Rispoli is aboard, and I would expect Do It For Andrew to give a very good account of himself on Saturday in the Pasadena Stakes. Okay, third preference in the race is a horse who must overcome a really tough post position. He drew post 10, but he is good right now. I'm talking about number 10, Handy Dandy. He finished third in the Eddie Logan early, and then last time out, he dropped in class, swept up 3 wide. He was the 2-5 favorite. He was supposed to win this race, and he did. Barsabas on the inside gave him a little battle, but in deep stretch, Handy Dandy inched clear and won rather decisively. He was 2-5. So yes, he was supposed to win, and now he is a sharp horse moving up in class, and I would never knock a sharp horse moving up the ladder, especially when they figure to start at a hint of a price. And I expect that Handy Dandy potentially could slip through the cracks. Flavian Pratt rode him, but he ends up on somebody else in the Pasadena, who we'll talk about in a minute. But Handy Dandy will be ridden by Edwin Maldonado. And by the way, speaking of Maldonado, is there a more improved jockey in the last couple of years than Maldonado? The ride that he put up last weekend at Golden Gate Fields on Black Adder and El Camino Real Derby was a very good ride. Let's put it that way. Maldonado has a reputation as being a one-dimensional sprint speed rider. He is anything but. He is multi-dimensional. He is patient. He can finish, and he showed it last week on Black Adder. He picks up the mount on Handy Dandy in the Pasadena Stakes on Saturday. Who knows if Handy Dandy is good enough, but who knows that he is not? So I respect Handy Dandy moving up the ladder from a starter allowance win into this stakes race. Okay. Second preference, my second preference anyway, and I expect that this horse is going to be one of the favorites, is a horse by the name of Don't Swear Dave. Don't Swear Dave, his career was kind of going nowhere, much like Do It For Andrew, until trainer Doug O'Neill put Don't Swear Dave to grass. He did that 2 starts back, and he scored a maiden win, and then last time out, it was in the Baffle Stakes, and this was an absolute nightmare of a trip. I'm referring to Don't Swear Dave. We're going to take a look at the trip and ride by Don't Swear Dave. He's back in about 6th position, 3 wide in the Redham Silks, and jockey Mario Gutierrez is going to slam on the brakes. Don't Swear Dave is going to steady. He lost all position. He's dropping back to second to last, and right here you're going, well, I guess he's just going to finish last. Don't Swear Dave lost all chance on the turn, and from the 3/8 pull home, Gutierrez did not ask this horse to run at all. Everything that Don't Swear Dave did, he did on his own. Gutierrez is still sitting chilly. That's Moglev winning for fun. And not that Don't Swear Dave was going to defeat Moglev, but Don't Swear Dave ran super in defeat, completely shuffled out of position on the turn, re-rallied, galloped out with run past the wire. A good effort by Don't Swear Dave, a better than looked effort. Mario Gutierrez is at Fairgrounds on Saturday, riding Awake at midnight in the Rachel Alexandra. He also rides Slow Down Andy. But he's at Fairground. So Joe Bravo picks up the mount on Don't Swear Dave. And if he reproduces his turf sprint form while stretching out to a mile, I expect Don't Swear Dave to be right there. There are lots of contenders in the Pasadena Stakes that came very close to picking Don't Swear Dave on top. But ultimately, top selection, and I really have no idea which way the bettors are going to go in this race. I'm glad I'm not making the morning line on this field. Whoever it does end up being favored, I can't see that horse being any less than 5-2. It might be Sumter. And the thing we don't know about Sumter is, can he run against winners and can he run long? Because he's 4 starts into his career and all he has done so far is run against maidens, and he's never run on grass beyond 5 furlongs. But let's take a look at the maiden win by Sumter. It was in November at War, and this is a Son of Warfront, produced by a graded stakes winning turf dam who has already produced a California Oaks winner. That's Sumter. He got a perfect trip this day, but this was a decisive win by Sumter in the middle of November at Del Mar going 5 furlongs. Boy, he won gear down. So where has Sumter been since then? Well, he was supposed to run in the Eddie Logan in early January. That would have been a grass mile, similar to the Pasadena, but he came down with the foot problem, Sumter did. He was nominated to the Eddie Logan, had to pass the race, so he's coming into the Pasadena off a 3-month layoff. Trainer Dick Mandela is relatively confident that Sumter is fit and ready and should run well first start back. He's bred to get the distance. He won like a good horse. He's training like a good horse. Flavian Pratt, who had his choice of several horses in this field, will ride Sumter, stretching out from 5 furlong maiden win into a grass stakes race around 2 turns at 1 mile. It's a lot to ask for Sumter, but I think he's the top horse in the race. At least I think he's the most probable winner. It's a very deep competitive race. I would not argue with anybody who wanted to shop for a price. We didn't even talk about the horse with the highest speed figure in the race. That's number 9, Epoch, who earned an 83 Beyer speed figure, winning a highly rated maiden turf sprint last time out. Lots of ways to go in the Pasadena Stakes. I don't know if there's another Rock Your World in this field, but I don't know that there's not either. I like Sumter over Don't Swear Dave, and I respect Handy Dandy and also Do It for Andrew. It's race number 9 on Saturday at Santa Anita.